the stormwater violations. You got, paint going into the water system, which eventually goes out to the ocean. A lot of times when they paint in areas like this, they leave the empty spray cans. Those start floating out into the water system. So you got different issues here. Besides the crime that they've committed for tagging up the area, you got stormwater issues, hazardous waste issues. So you got different departments besides the city of San Marcos. Now you got fish and game, you got hazardous waste. You have different entities going after, this type of crime. Here's another one. This is under the bridge. There's a lot of bridges underneath where you can't see from the freeway crossings and whatnot that get tagged up constantly. We were here, I think last year, was it Paul? There's like 125 spray cans that they found down there. There's a creek that runs through there, and they were just all dumped there. We had rollers for the painting, because sometimes they white out the wall, let it dry, and then re-tag it with their tags. So we had a ton of the rollers, the paintbrush rollers. They even get sophisticated enough to bring in their own masks because they know the hazards of inhaling all that paint, the paint fumes. We find latex gloves, the empty cans of paint, the spray type, and also the roller type. And it's all going into the creek. Again, you have stormwater issues, hazardous waste issues. If there's any kind of wildlife in that creek or in the surrounding area, all that paint just goes downstream and it's headed towards the ocean. That's part of our watershed. So there's damages there. This is the old George's Burger where they got up on the roof. I don't know how they got up there, but they got up there and tagged that up. So that's damaging their property. Now, they have to replace their sign. And that you can see pretty much from anywhere, because you can even see that off the freeway. So, you're driving down the freeway, down the 78, and you see that, and you're going, ugh, I don't want to go to San Marcos. This is what I'm seeing. Here's another, see the bubbly art, the bubbly letters. That's usually, that's just a tag, which would tell the difference between a tag and a gang. They're a little hard to read sometimes, Marco. And there's 2 kids we caught tagging up. And again, if you're under 18, this is on you and on your parents until that restitution is paid. There's been kids caught, and it can go up to $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, because it all gets tied in together. You're not just getting busted for the one, you're going to get busted for everything, because it's all being tracked.
Bibi, is that just in San Marcos, or is that, say, if you tagged in Escondido and Vista as well?
Actually, right now, down the corridor of the 15, Oceanside, Vista, San Marcos, and Escondido, we all have a program called the Graffiti Tracker. That it's a database that we keep all these tags in. They're pretty much all on board. So let's say you tag here in Vista, here in San Marcos, and let's say we call Vista and say, hey, do you have any of these tags? They'll bring in all their damages, and we include them from all the cities. And that's what the DA will take to court. And see how that just looks, looks terrible. And there's really no reason to tag.
Obviously location. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed while we were walking down here on the street, there's an awful lot of this blue that's on the sidewalk. It's been put there by the city. It's really prevalent over by our school, and Sandra and I were just saying, I think that almost looks just as bad, if not worse. But that's put there by the city, that stays there. So just kind of want you guys thinking about that as well, paying attention to that. Does that devalue the property? Does it take away from our sidewalks? And then just kind of want to give you a second to go ahead and journal on this one right here. And interesting that it's on this one and not this one. Why do you think that is?